I like to get here early. I got here about an hour early, and I like to talk to the students, I like to talk to the parents, and I was here in 2012, and I saw this then, and I saw it again today. What's really cool about you guys, is the fact I'm talking to people and I'm saying, all right, who are you guys? And they're saying stuff like, you ready? I'm the next door neighbor to the second cousin to the person who's walking. How cool is that? This is a big deal. Someone alluded to her earlier. How many of our folks didn't have a chance to get to do this kind of thing? How many of us are the first in our own families to get to go to college and graduate? How cool is that? All right? So this is a big deal. Let's look at the next slide, Glenn, real quick. All right, so superheroes, all of you. I'm going to try to give you some tips on how to be more super. Deal? All right, so Glenn. So, keep going. Sometimes you have to fake it till you, how do you finish it? All right, we got a new way to go now. Ready? Fake it till you make it's the old way. I saw something recently that I like even better. It said, ready for this? Fake it till you become it. Now, what I'm not suggesting is you go to the nearest operating room and say you're a brain surgeon. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we got in over our heads a little bit like day one of this college, and we said, what are we doing here, and how am I going to be able to afford to do this, and how am I going to be able to go to all these classes? But you figured it out, and you made it. You faked it till you made it. Okay? You faked it till you became it. Now you've graduated. You made it. You faked it, baby, but you did it. There were those days, right? And when you go into the job place, let's face it, you're going to be on the job, brand new job, 2 weeks into it, let's say, and someone comes up to you and says, can you plate a 300 cover banquet? What are you going to say? Geez, I just got here? No, you're going to fake it till you become it, right? You're going to have the courage, and you're going to have the fortitude, and you're going to go out and you're going to go do it, right? Let me take a quote. I got to read it because I didn't memorize it. Muhammad Ali, ready? Muhammad Ali said, a man, we'll say woman also, a man or a woman who has no imagination has no wings. Has no wings. Sometimes you got to fake it till you become it. Imagine yourself doing it, and you'll do it. All right? Glenn. Always and forever. Someone alluded to it earlier. Please, do yourselves a favor. Always, you're not done learning. You're just beginning. Always, always, always be learning. Audience only. Question time. Ready? You own a restaurant, and you want to know what foods, not students, audience only. You want to know what foods the consumers, the guests, the patrons in your restaurant don't like. Who would you go talk to? Audience. Who?
The cook. The chef.
Another associate.
The chef.
All right, ready? Students, who would you go talk to in your kitchen? How about the dishwasher? Why the dishwasher? All right, ready? I'm 15 years old. I walk into a Marriott hotel in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. We moved to Milwaukee when I was 15. I want to be a maitre d'. It was advertised in the paper. I had no idea what a maitre d' was, but it sounded a lot sexier than mowing lawns, which is what I was doing. And I showed up, and I dressed in a suit, my only suit. It was polyester, two-sided. They used to make those. It was brown on one side, cream on the other. You would take your jacket inside out, it would be a second color. So you bought one suit, you could make two suits. That's how poor I was. I wore my only suit. I wore the cream outside because I thought cream looked cooler. I wore my brown tie and my brown vinyl shoes. And I walked into that Marriott hotel and I walked up to the front desk and I said, hi, hi, I'm here to interview for the maitre d' position. And as fate would have it, at that front desk is a girl by about 4'10". Her name was Mary Martin. She was the accountant for the hotel. She's hardly up at the front desk ever. She just happened to be there when I walked in and said, I want to work here. She saw me in a suit and she said, come on, I'll take you back to the kitchen. Did she do that for everybody? Did everyone get that treatment? I think it's because I wore a suit, honestly. So, she drops me off at the kitchen. There's the food and beverage director's office. Go there. I said, great, thank you. I get in there, they have their backs to me. Food and beverage director and the assistant have their back to me. And they're looking at like a set of blueprints or something. They're going to do something with the dining room. And I said, excuse me, I'd like to interview for the maitre d' position, please. And this food and beverage director comes charging out of his little office, and he gets about an inch from my face, and he said, what do you know about being a maitre d'? Sorry, Glenn, I just broke the equipment, right? And he's in my face about how I'm stupid and I shouldn't be there, and why do you waste my time, and why do these people always do this to me? I got tears in my eyes, I'm not lying. I'm looking for the nearest exit. I'm ready to run. And as he's still yelling at me, I see an exit there, and I start going for the exit. And the assistant food and beverage director grabbed me from behind. His name is Scott Hugh. I owe this man forever. He turns me around and he says, do you want a job? And I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, come tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Come see me. I'll get you a job. I came the next day at 3 o'clock. I was a pot scrubber. Not even a dishwasher, chefs, because they were afraid I was going to hurt myself. So they said, you're going to wash pots and pans. So for the first 3 months of my glorious career, I can never answer for you. All I can do is answer for me, because what's right for me may not be right for you. But you will know when the time is right. And in my blueprint for the life that I wanted to have, it was all about learning. And at the end of 30 days, if I felt like in the job I was in, I didn't learn anything, who did I blame? Whose fault was that? My own. I looked in the mirror and I said, Farrell, you didn't work hard enough to try to get educated on something new, something different. So it's your fault you didn't learn anything. Go learn something. And I worked a lot harder at it. And if a few more months went by and I wasn't able to learn stuff, in my world, it was time to do what? It was time to move on. It wasn't necessarily, hey, let's look for the greener grass. It was always about, are you going to learn in this position? Are you going to continue to grow in this position where you can be the person you want to be someday? And if the answer was probably not, it was time to look at the calendar and say, all right, you need to start game planning for the next position. That was right for me. I'm not saying it's right for you, but you're going to figure it out. And I know it's always one of the toughest challenges you face. All right? Also keep in mind that if you've been in job after job after job, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 7 months, they're going to be concerned about hiring you. So always take that into consideration. But the moral of this little part of this story is, please, always take a position where you can learn. Chef McMillan is not only the chef, I'm going to spell that, is not only the award winner up here, but he said something really, really important. Don't take a job for the money. Don't take a job for the money. I made that mistake too. I think, audience, have you made that mistake? Yes. You took a job, I took a job making $40,000 more, moved to Boston, became a VP of sales and marketing for a hotel company, and I said for $40,000 more, I can do anything they want me to. Well, at the end of every month, they used to pummel me. It was like an attack on you and your personal family over the results. What happened in Columbia, South Carolina, Farrell? And it was like a personal attack versus, hey, let's work together. It was not a great culture, it was not a great company. I think a lot of us have made that mistake. Don't you make that mistake. Do the right thing. Do good things, working for good people, and like the chef said, McMillan, the money will chase you. You believe me? If you don't believe me, believe him. He's an award winner. Okay? And I understand it's not your first. Next slide. All right, I want to teach you something. Now, I'm only going to be up here another 10 minutes, and I probably don't expect you to remember 90% of what I said. In fact, I get that a lot. I'll speak to an audience of 5,000, 10,000 people, 1,000, doesn't matter. And at the end of your speech, typically what happens is you're on a stage like this.
And the next morning, you're ready to do it again. Isn't that right, chefs? All right, so now we're going to confer the degrees. I'm going to give the microphone to Chef Jordan Buchanan. I'm following you.
Give me one. They have me one here. Congratulations, y'all. For the students receiving the Associate of Occupational Studies degree in Culinary Restaurant Management, Lauren Akram. Demetrius Aldridge. Leonard Alexander. Sedarius Anderson. Valerie Applewhite. Shannon Bailey. Caitlin Berry. Jasmine Bateman. Faith Bauer. Erica Belton. Dax Biggs. Shon Binion. Anna Bloomer.
What the freaking way, man?
Andrea Branch. Christopher Braswell. Catherine Brooks II. Antoine Brown.
In a second.
Carter Bryan. LaShonda Buford. Tangela Burnett. Jonathan Calvert. Miss Carlandria Carter.